Crystal from the polyfragmented system, and today we're going to be talking about coping skills. Alright, so today we're going to be going through quite a list of coping skills. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a few coping skills that I learned from the hospital, coping skills I learned in therapy, and ones that I gathered online, and I'm going to share them, and I'm going to go into my top 5 coping skills that I use today. Be realistic with you, and I'm going to show you how it's done and how you use each of these coping skills. So the coping skills we have right now are the ice glove, chewing ice cubes, using ice, like instead of self-harming, you just rub ice in order to get like that numb, kind of painful feeling without actually hurting yourself. There's going to be breaking an ice pack, which is similar to the ice glove. There's going to be meditation. There's going to be reading positive quotes, separating yourself from potential triggers or things that are triggering you. There's going to be coloring pages, very relaxing. I really enjoy them personally. There's going to be watching TV, talking about it, which is very hard, but it works. Fake tattoos instead of, hurting yourself, self-harming. There's going to be writing on your body, like with marker, taking a hot shower, listening to music, which is amazing, always works. Just as long as you don't listen to sad music. Don't do that. Stop. Listen to Corpse and listen to medieval tavern music or whatever it is. It's impossible to be sad. There's taking a nap, which I use a lot. There's shopping online. And there's counting for like problems where you're angry. There's talking to yourself, and there's watching funny videos. So I'm going to dive into 5 of these, 5 host chosen coping skills, and we're going to talk about them in greater detail, and we're going to talk about what it helps with, and we're also going to talk about how you use these coping skills. The first coping skill is the ice glove, which I learned in the hospital. It can help with dissociation because of the rapid change in temperature in your hands specifically. So basically the ice glove has ice in it. So you're basically gonna hold the ice glove and you're gonna smash it with your hands, but you're gonna be holding it. So that coldness that goes to your hands, it kind of wakes you up. It helps restart your senses and kind of bring you back to center. So it helps with that. It helps with anxiety in the way that you get to like hit stuff, you get to like fumble with your hands, fidget with your hands. It also helps with ADHD and ADD for the same thing. I wouldn't suggest it for someone who has severe ADHD or ADD. It can only help with like fidgeting. It probably won't help with the other symptoms that come with ADD or ADHD. So I think I'd have to do a separate video on like fidget toys and stuff like that for you guys. But let me know if you guys would like that. I'd be more than glad to make it. The next thing is separating yourself. So this is another coping skill that we learned in the hospital, and this one is one that they kind of use a weird term for it. They have this room called the calming room, specifically at my hospital. You would go there whenever you felt triggered, whenever you had to get a break from what was happening, because the stuff that would happen in the hospital, which I will talk about in another video, was very chaotic and it was very triggering oftentimes, and you kind of needed to separate yourself. So separating yourself could really help when it comes to being upset about like a specific situation. It really helps to have that alone time, although sometimes you want to isolate yourself in bad situations, but isolating yourself with control is very helpful. You can use other coping skills that are on this list, like listening to music, using an ice glove, perhaps watching TV, shopping online. You can use those other coping skills in that situation. It's just the most important step is to separate yourself from there. It's very hard because you kind of just don't want to be a burden to other people. You don't want to separate yourself and feel like you're being too needy, but it's just, you need to understand that you need to do that sometimes, and you need to separate yourself, and it's for the better. It's for the greater good for yourself and for the people around you. Because you want to avoid getting triggered and then potentially hurting someone. That would be very, very detrimental. That's basically what we're trying to avoid with that. We're trying to avoid harm to yourself and to others. The next one is watching TV. So watching TV can be very helpful. You're not really focusing on what's happening in your life, you're focusing on what's happening in a fictional character, or like a character that's based off real life's character's life. So basically, you're focusing on someone else's life, you're kind of trying to make conclusions about their life, and you're trying to, follow their storyline. It helps to kind of get yourself away from your own life, and that's kind of a method that we achieve that. Although we don't want to dissociate, honestly, I feel like watching TV is one of the very tranquil things you could do for yourself. But like I said in my other video, it's very good for you to have that time to yourself, and to have that time away focusing on someone else's life instead of your own. So yeah, that's very helpful. The next one is taking a nap. So taking a nap can really help. Napping, it kind of shuts down your mind. It puts your mind into like autopilot. You're not really focused on what's happening. You really can't stay mad, or you can't really stay upset. For sure, you can be upset when you go to bed, but when you wake up, you're bound to feel better, because a lot of this stuff can come from being tired, and taking a nap can really help with that. I think that it's a very good coping skill. I use it, and it's very helpful. The next one is shopping online. Who doesn't love shopping online? So basically, this could be like simple things, like you can make your own Amazon wish list, you can make a wish list for your friend, or like plan something for your friend. You could look for a car, you could look for your dream home, those mansions. It's really helpful. I think that it's very, very distracting, and it's very fun in my opinion, but this is kind of a hit or miss type thing. So if you like to shop, then you'll love this, but if you don't like to shop, you might find this boring. But that's why we named so many of them, and you have more than enough to choose from. I chose the most important ones. I'm going to leave some links in the description for other links for coping skills. So yeah, I'm sorry for my eyeliner. My eyeliner is a little bit of a mess today, because I wiped it off midway, and it's very, very dramatic, but I don't really care. I was just bored. So yeah, so that kind of concludes my video for today. I hope you learned to use some of these coping mechanisms and these coping skills in order to cope with your mental illness and to cope with just daily stressors. If you would like any suggestions for websites to visit, or if you would like anything at all, just leave me a comment. I'll read it, and I'll try to get you the resources that you need. So this is the polyfragmented system, Crystal, and I'll see you next time. Bye!